viewers and my students, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to present 30 multiple choice questions in this video from Shelley's famous poem Ode to the West Wind. I think these questions will help the students of English literature and candidates of various competitive examinations to understand the poem. So let's start, but before that, share the channel and must provide your feedback in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe it to have all the updates. Let's start. Number 1. Shelley was expelled from Oxford in 1817, 1811, 1802, 1810. We all know that Shelley was expelled from Oxford as he published a pamphlet named The Necessity of Atheism. And the year was, the answer is 1811. So, B is the right answer. Okay, next. Number 2. Adonis is an elegy on Wordsworth, Keats, Southey, Coleridge. The option is, we all know that Shelley wrote Adonis, an elegy on the death of the famous or great poet John Keats. Okay, so the right option is B. Next, number 3. Ode to the West Wind is written in rhyme royal, heroic couplet, chain rhyme, blank verse. We all know that Ode to the West Wind is written in chain rhyme or tarja rima. Okay, it is actually a series of interlinked tercets, and the series closes with a single line and in few cases 2 lines. Okay, and this tarja rima or chain rhyme was invented by Dante for his Divine Comedy. So Ode to the West Wind is written in chain rhyme. Next, number 4. Loose clouds are called the angels of rain, lightning, both hail. Actually, the loose clouds are called angels or messenger of both rain and lightning. So the answer is C, both. Next, number 5. Shelley died in 1821, 1822, 1825, 1826. We know the lifespan of Shelley is from 1792 to 1822. So he died in 1822. The right option is B. Next, number 6. On whose stream meet the deep skies commotion. Okay, this is the full line. So here stream actually means, stream means Mediterranean Sea, Atlantic Ocean, brook, flow of wind. Actually here stream refers to the flow of wind, that is the flow of the west wind. Okay, so the right option is D, flow of wind. Clear? Next, number 7. Ode to the West Wind was published in 1818, 1819, 1820, 1822. The right option is, it is C, 1820, because Ode to the West Wind was published in the volume named Prometheus Unbound. Okay, in 1820. Next, number 8. Drive my dead thoughts. ... Here dead means not bygone or worn out, but it refers to dormant or latent. Okay, actually this refers to the idea of regeneration, Shelley's message of regeneration. Okay, so here dead means latent. Okay, next, number 9. Shelley falls upon the thrones of, textual line, I fall upon the thrones of life, I bleed. So Shelley falls upon the thrones of life. The right option is C. Then number 10, Shelley imagines the west wind as a philosopher, a magician, a preacher, a priest. The right option is, we find the line from an enchanter playing. So the right option is enchanter or magician. B, because Shelley compares the west wind to an enchanter or magician. Clear? Next. Number 11. Shelley calls the west wind a giant, mighty force, king, wild spirit. Shelley addresses the west wind in the very opening line. O wild west wind, the breath of autumn's being. So the right option is D, wild spirit. Clear? Next. Number 12. The west wind sings dash song of the year. The west wind sings the dirge or funeral song. The textual line is, thou dirge of the dying year. Why funeral song? Because Shelley imagines that the year is going to die. He personifies the year. That's why funeral song or dirge. So the right option is C. Next, number 13. Shelley died at an early age of. We all know the lifespan of Shelley from 1792 to 1822. So he died in 1822 at the age of 30. So the right option is A. Next, number 14. Shelley wants to be the dash of the west wind. We find the textual line, make me thy lyre even as the forest is. What if my leaves are falling like its own? Okay, so Shelley wants to be the lyre of the west wind. Lyre means musical instrument. Okay, then number 15. Who is awakened from summer dreams? We find the line, thou who didst waken from his summer dreams, the blue Mediterranean. So, who is awakened? It's the blue Mediterranean. So, the right option is C. Because Shelley imagines that the Mediterranean is a person. He personifies it. And it's in a slumber. Okay. Next, number 16. Submerged palaces are covered with, we find the line, all overgrown with azure, moss and flowers. So the right option is number D, moss and flowers. Then number 17, Ode to the West Wind ends with a note of, very important, sadness, despair, pessimism, optimism. Ode to the West Wind ends with a note of, obviously, optimism. Why optimism? Because it concludes with the line, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? One of the famous optimistic lines. So the right option is D, optimism. Next, number 18, Ode to the West Wind is written in, very important, trochaic pentameter, iambic tetrameter, iambic pentameter, Alexandrine. The right option is iambic pentameter. It is C. Because Ode to the West Wind is written in tarjarima or chain rhyme, and each line contains 10 syllables or 5 feet, and the accents are unaccent accent. So it is written in iambic pentameter. Next, number 19. Each stanza of Ode to the West Wind contains dash lines. We all know that Ode to the West Wind is written in tarjanima or chain rhyme, and each stanza contains 4 tercets and a couplet. 4 tercets, tercet equal to a combination of 3 lines. So 3 into 4 equal to 12 and a concluding couplet. So total 14. So the right option is B, 14 lines. Clear? Next, number 20. When Ode to the West Wind was written, Shelley was in. We all know that Shelley wrote the poem when he was in Italy, okay, in the year 1819. So, the right option is Italy. He was in Florence of Italy, okay. Number A. Then 21, each like a corpse. Here corpse refers to, we find the line, the wings sits where they lie cold and low, each like a corpse. So corpse refers to or suggest obviously the winged seeds or seeds. The right option is A. Then 22, Shelley was uncontrollable like the west wind in his infancy, boyhood, middle age. Obviously it should be boyhood. The right option is B. Why boyhood? Because he himself says that thou, O uncontrollable, if even I were as in my boyhood. Okay, this is the line. So the right option is boyhood. Then 23, the name of Shelley's first wife was Asia, Mary, Harriet, and the right option is, it is obviously C. Harriet. Her name was Harriet Westbrook or Harriet Shelley. She was his first wife, and the second wife was Mary. Okay, Mary Godwin. Mary Godwin was Shelley's second wife, and first wife Harriet Westbrook, later on Harriet Shelley. Next, 24. The colors of the leaves in the first canto suggests. The line we find, are driven the ghost like an enchanter fleeing, yellow and black and pale and hectic red. So all these colors suggest decay, death and destruction. So the right option is D, decay. Clear? Then number 25, to Shelley, the west wind of spring is the dash of the west wind of autumn. We know that Shelley personifies the west wind as a male, and this very west wind gets weaker in spring, and he calls the spring wind as Zephyr, and the spring wind is personified as a female, that is the sister of the west wind of autumn. Clear? So to Shelley, the west wind of spring is the dash of the west wind of autumn. It is obviously sister. Clear? Number A. Next, 26. Of some fears Maynard. Here we find a or an dash allusion. We all know that Maynard was one of the female worshippers of Bacchus, the god of wine. And this story or the reference of story is to be found in the Greek mythology. So it is obviously classical allusion, not biblical, nor historical, nor oriental. The right option is obviously B, classical. Clear? Next, 27. Scarced seemed a vision. Here scarce means must, very often, hardly, always. It means hardly. Okay, 27. Next, 28. If I were a dead leaf, thou mightest bear. Here we find a note of joy, satisfaction, hatred, regret. This is obviously note of regret. Okay, because here Shelley is highly dissatisfied with his present miserable situation. So the right option is D, regret. Next, 29. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? Rhetorically, this is an example of, it is alliteration, simile, interrogation, pun. The right option is, it is interrogation. Why interrogation? Because we know that in an interrogation a question is raised, but the answer is implied within the very question. And herein also, the question, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? The answer is implied. The answer is, if winter comes, spring cannot be far behind. So rhetorically this is an example of interrogation. Clear? Next, last one, 30. Shelley wants to broadcast his message of regeneration through the clouds, hail, zephyr, west wind. It is obviously the west wind, because he appeals, drive my dead thoughts over this universe, be thou my lips, the trumpet of prophecy. So these are the lines. So Shelley wants to broadcast his message of regeneration obviously through the west wind. The right option is D. So all the questions are completed. Thank you.